Excited to be back for episode 9.
Yes, yes.
As we discuss Think and Grow Rich, the amazing book. We know you guys have, those of you guys that have been following us, make sure you continue on this journey. The information is really amazing. But before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and also hit that bell so you can be notified when we go live to talk about some of these amazing books that we pulled out for you. You ready, Tanya?
I'm ready. I'm
All right,
ready. I'm
so
ready.
this is going to be really short, but it's going to be impactful nonetheless. So we want to say welcome to our audience. Welcome to you guys that are
you're
watching.
new here,
yeah,
welcome.
And
Thanks for being
please put a comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. Okay. All right. So we're still in chapter 2 of Think and Grow Rich. Now listen to this. There's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. Let's see. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. And I'll add this too. It's from a song. It says, closed mouths don't get fed. Oh, you like that, don't you? All right.
Yes, Dexter.
So remember, no more effort. Okay, this is like a really big thing. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity, than it is required to accept misery and poverty. So you got abundance and prosperity, misery and poverty. No more effort is required to think either or. Okay, a great poet has correctly stated this universal truth through these lines. Now I have memorized this poem, so I'm not going to look down. I'm going to recite it to you.
And I love this poem.
It's by Jesse Rittenhouse. He says, "I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay me no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store. You see, life is just an employer. It gives you what you ask, but once you set the wages, you must perform the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I would have asked of life, life would have surely paid." And that's what we wanted to share with you. I mean, it's such amazing. It's so amazing. Okay, so let's hop right in it. What's some things you want to pull out here just on what I read, because it's just phenomenal, man.
Well, I would say starting off even when you were reading and you kind of gave the example of, the difference between misery and abundance.
Yeah.
As it relates to us, it's up to us. It requires the same energy. It's the same method of thought.
Yeah.
The direction that you want to go, you can have either or. A lot of times, and I know for me, Dexter, you remember you and I used to, get in our car. We would drive around our city, the surrounding cities, and we would go into really prominent neighborhoods where homes were $500,000 up, 700 millions, $2 million of dollars. This was early on in our marriage for the first several years, really 10, even. And we would just ride around and look. But I can remember very, very early on wondering, what do these people do?
We will always ask ourselves that question.
What do they do? What is it that they're doing for a living, And that would be our question.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I don't know if anyone can relate or not, but in my mind, I always thought, gosh, it's probably so much. And it's so much required. What's their educational background? All of these types of things that would come to my mind, only to find that it's a matter of your thoughts.
It's what they were thinking.
It's a matter of what it is that you believe. It's a matter of your opinion about yourself. That's what it is. What are your desires? How many of you know what your gifts are? Are you even familiar with how to monetize your gifts? That was a big thing for me. I can one more thing I can remember, and then Dex, come on, chime on in. But I can remember a church that we were a part of, and they had an event that was about to happen. So I said, let me do a flyer for that. So I sat down and I put together this flyer and I gave it. I said, here you go. And they looked at that and said, did you do this? I said, yes. She said, you need to be on my marketing team for the ministry. I said, marketing? She said, yeah. I said, oh, this is marketing. See, I didn't know that was called marketing. I didn't know that this was a means of marketing. And I'm telling you, this has now been about, I don't know, 14 years ago or so. So, and I thought, sure. not knowing that the gift I had fell under that specific industry, not even knowing how to convert that into a business. But I know now. So what's yours? And what do you think about that?
It's really good.
What do you think about, where you would want to go with it? Because, honey, I'm telling you, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. The same amount of energy to do nothing, to do nothing. Let me say it this way. If you think about what you don't have, if you think about how tough it is, if you think about and put your focus on how difficult it will be or must be to have a thing, it's the same energy if you switch it and think about what you would like to have and what you would like to pursue in life. It's the same energy.
It is. It really is. So, guys, I mean, we said a mouthful. It's really
I said a mouthful.
No,
Go ahead and talk.
No, it's really powerful. And we started out with saying there's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it.
Yeah.
Think about that. I wish for it, but I'm ready to receive it. So one says, "Ooh, I would love for it to happen.
That's really good too,
Let me
y'all.
wish for it," and the other
That's
one
good
says,
too.
"It's going to happen. Let me prepare for it." That's really what's going on, guys. One of the best jobs I've ever had in my life was a company founded by President Eisenhower. I was one of 12 people to travel the world doing international travel, talking to students. It was amazing. You know how I got that job? I prepared for it.
You did.
I prepared for it. I prepared for the job before they even posted it.
Yeah, you did.
See, because I knew I wanted to speak for a living, and I also knew that I wanted a salary, right? I wanted a salary, so I wanted a company to pay me for speaking. So I wanted a company to pay me for what I love to do. So I started putting together messages just in my own head. We call it the theater of the mind. I started preparing for that. And then I saw the job opening. When the job opening came, I was like, that's it.
That's it.
So I applied for it. And then it was a rigorous interview process. But I was like, you know what? This is mine.
How did you prepare for it, Dexter?
Well,
how did you prepare?
In the theater of the mind. So just a quick example. And Les Brown talks about this. I would spend time quietly in a room, totally dark, but I was basically, I was able to go, and this is a whole nother training we're going to do, but I was able to go from the alpha realm to theta. So I was able to enter high theta, in which I tapped into my mind, and I was able to see myself standing on stage. I was able to see myself speaking. Now, I was looking from my eyes. So that's a little note there. I was looking from my eyes out to the audience. So I was on stage, looking at the people, giving presentation, all the hand gestures that go along with people who present. And then I would see myself exit stage right and take pictures with people. I saw this in my mind before they posted the job.
So you're visualizing.
So I visualized
this is going into your imagination.
Wanted. So I was ready to receive
the
job when they was ready to hand it to me.
Yeah.
That's what happened. We got a whole training on that.
We do. But I think even if you were to go back to some of the previous ones we talked about, I think we dealt a little bit even with imagination too.
Imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions.
It is.
That's Shakespeare.
Some people don't even know how to use it. Some people, I would think that, no, you don't need to do that. That's not what you do. But it is what you do. We've been given an imagination so that you could dream, so that you could think and you could see a thing. I use this example often, but this is one of the things that we would also use when we would sometimes come to speak or do some types of speaking engagements, or teaching engagements rather. But I talk about Abraham and how we say how Abraham, the word of God tells us how he goes up on the mountain and God has him to look around and he was like, what do you see? So it's like, what was his imagination? What was he actually seeing? Do you see what I mean? What was it that, he could see as it related to what God was promising him? Because as far as he could see is what it would be. And it's the same thing with us. So what do you see? Tapping into that mind. And whatever that thing is, you're going to head in the direction of what it is that you're believing for, what you're desiring. And also remembering always to know that when we delight ourselves in Him, in God, He will give us the desires of our hearts. So understand that. My delight is in him. My desire is for him. I love him. And if I'm there and that relationship is going on, the desires that even come, these will be desires that he wants for you, because they're the desires of your heart. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
That's
So
really good.
everything just connects, all
It
right?
does.
So
It
just
does.
catch all of that. Catch all of that.
Yeah.
And we just encourage you to dream.
Mhm.
Learn how to
You have
monetize
to.
your gifts.
You got to do it.
Learn
I'm,
how
look,
to monetize
I'm going
those
to read
gifts.
this last sentence of the quote. You guys that just joined us, watching on the replay, make sure you go back to the beginning. Listen, it says, I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I would have asked of life, life would have surely paid. Guys, think big. Thinking small,
it.
same energy. Think big. Let's go get it. All right. Well, guys, we're good?
Yep.
All right, we're out of here. Dexter and Tanya Scott with the upgraders who may not know you.
But we know what's in you.
We'll see you on the next broadcast, episode 10. See you.